Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to get into building assemblies. And the first thing we want to do is start an assembly drawing. New drawing, and pick the assembly template. Now it's going to say what part do you want to start with. I'm going to X out of both of these because I want to set some document properties first. Make sure I'm on ANSI and make my units millimeters, grams, seconds. And I want to show my origins. There's the origins. Now I can start inserting components. Insert component. And we'll start with the bracket. Now I can drop the bracket anywhere. That's floating. That's how your part floats. I don't want it to float. I want it to be fixed. Hit the green check mark. And it's fixed. I cannot click and drag to move the component. It won't do anything because it's locked. The origin of the component is locked to the origin of the drawing. Now, time to figure out how to unlock it. Right click, float. Now it's unlocked. I can click and drag. Put it back where it was. Lock it down like I originally wanted. I just wanted to show you how to do it. Next thing, got to insert another component. Let's grab the bushing. You want to drop the components in a good place that lets you mate nicely. So there's a couple ways to do mates. I'll show the mate tool first. Just click on the mate tool and a dialog opens up. Click on the two selections. Click, click. The two cylinders, the inside cylinder on the bracket and the outside cylinder on the bushing. And it concentric mates, excuse me, not coincident, concentric, which is what we want. Check concentric. Now we want to, now here's the other way to do it. Click on the face, one face you want to mate, and on the other face you want to mate. Control click. And it assumes coincident, which is what we want. Green check mark, and we're done. Now I'm going to pause for just a second, insert the axle. Now, here's a different kind of mate. I wanted to be sure and stop. I'll bring you back to the video to show you. Click, control click. The dialog comes up. Distance mate, 20 millimeters. Now I'm going to pause again. When I come on something new, I'll come back. Now I'm going to rotate. I just inserted the collar. Everything else is what you've seen before on the video. I'm going to rotate the collar so the set screw is up. Now I'm going to insert the set screw. I'm going to get out of the mate tool. Just drop it anywhere. Going to zoom in a bit. Okay. The cylindrical part, the outer cylindrical of the set screw. Control click the inner cylindrical of this collar, and I should be able to mate concentric. Now, the set screw is buried inside the collar and the axle. So to handle that, what you can do is you can hide the axle, hide the collar. There we go. Now I can see the set screw. I can click and drag it, it moves up, it moves, it rotates with the collar, It'll move up and down. It should rotate. I'm trying to make it rotate. It's not doing so well. It's hard to control with the mouse. Anyway, it does, you can click and drag it out of the way. Now you can show both the components that I previously hid. So now I see the set screw, and it is aligned nicely with the collar. If I rotate the collar, the set screw goes with it. It is coincident, but I want to get this face on the set screw tangent to the outer cylinder of the axle. Control, click the outer cylinder, mating tool comes up. Tangent is a choice. Click tangent, you should be done. Voila. Now there's one last mate that we need to talk about, and that is, go back to the mating tool, that's what's called Multimate, and that's what you click here. Because what we want to do is be able to rotate the wheel, and the collar and the set screw and the axle all move together with it. Right now they're moving independently. They're not moving together. So I want to put in a Multimate. I want to get these three locked together. To do that, we click the little Multimate icon right there, and it's got the face of the axle. I don't want the face of the axle. Delete that. Our feature tree has now moved over here. Dialog here for the mating, feature tree over here. So I do want the axle. Top plane would work, right plane would not, front plane would work. So the axis of the rotation axis is in the top or the front plane. It is not. It is normal to. It's at right angles to the right plane. So you wouldn't want to use the right plane, but either of these two would be fine. Do the same thing with the collar and the wheel. I'm trying to collapse the axle. There it is. Collapsing top plane of the collar. Just double check the previews. Make sure they look right. And the wheel. Top plane of the wheel. Good. They all lock together. Now I can just click the green check mark. Coincident. Everything's hunky-dory. I move the wheel, and the collar and the axle and the wheel all move together now to simulate the mechanics of this. Okay, I'm going to end this video here, and we'll pick up with exploding.